Hello and welcome to the latest MK Web, MK Dons sports podcast with myself, Dan Palmer. I'm here with Scott Kirk as usual. How's things going, mate?
Oh, I'm a little under the weather, so if I'm coughing, I do apologise on this one. So.
Hopefully you won't be passing anything to me during the recording.
Hope so.
Another yo-yo week at the Dons. We had the euphoria and the elation of the comeback victory against Stevenage 3-2. On Saturday, after being 2-0 down with a little over 10 minutes to play, a miraculous comeback. But then, unfortunately, followed by we had the elation at Stevenage. It's the deflation against Gillingham on Tuesday night. Disappointing 1-0 defeat, and with Peterborough losing on the same evening, we could be level on points. As it is, as you were, but that looked like a brilliant opportunity to me to make up the ground of some difficult games to come.
Yeah, there's absolutely no doubt about that. I mean, you're right as well. There are some very difficult games to come as well. So, massive opportunity missed. And the annoying thing was that, that Dons could have played until midnight and wouldn't have scored from the looks of it on Tuesday night. So, so real disappointing. It was a real shame. And like I say, with Peterborough losing, it's just a real opportunity missed. But it seems to be one of those seasons where Dons keep getting chances at reaching that sixth place, and got to try and grasp them. But it's and there's an opportunity this weekend. I know Dons playing Wolves, but Peterborough aren't playing at all, so any sort of result causes they get there, and it's just frustrating, really.
Yeah.
1 minute you after Stevenage, it was just the manner of that win was absolutely incredible, and you sort of think with a win like that, you'd have expected Dons to kick on. I think from there, mentally, what that can do when you're 2 down to win with 10 minutes left. You'd have expected that to be the spur to really kick on, and obviously it's not been. And Tuesday night was very, very poor. I mean, Dons were dominant. Absolutely dominant, no doubt about that. But just not enough chances, really, and it was just poor.
I mean, we were after Sheffield United, we're saying we're not going to get the playoffs, and after Swindon, we're saying, we've got a chance, and after Peterborough, we're not going to get the playoffs, and then after Stevenage, we've got a chance, and now after Gillingham, it's like we're back down again, we're saying we're not going to.
Yeah, well, I think there's a chance. I think we're back on the still a chance sort of thing, but no, you're right. It seems to be changing game in, game out, whether, but in terms of how we're going to do it or not. It's frustrating, really, but it is what it is, and I think it's probably a bit of an indictment that Dons aren't good enough. I mean, even if Dons do make the playoffs, are they really going to get past, you look at the teams that are 1st to 5th, they've lost 6 games all season. Peterborough and Dons have lost about 16.
Yeah.
So, the top 5 are by far and away better than anybody else in the league. So even if you do make the playoffs, are we going to do anything really? You've got to be in it to win it and all that. But it's, I don't know. I just can't see it at the moment. And and that's that Tuesday night. Don't help.
Perhaps worryingly, that's the 4th home game in a row without finding the net. Whether in that time there's scored plenty of goals away from home. Whether that's when teams come to Stadium MK, they defend, they put a lot of bodies behind the ball, and Dons can't unlock the door at the moment.
But I mean, the thing with Tuesday night though is that there weren't even any chances. That's what was worrying. If the keepers had an absolute worldie, or if Dons have had 5 close chances and scraped the post, or an unbelievable save, or a little bit of luck, then it's different. But there is an issue there. It's 4 games now. If that happens once or twice, it's different. But when it's 4 home games in a row, against, let's be honest, not meaning any disrespect, but against teams which Dons shouldn't really be losing to, if we're going to have playoff and promotion aspirations, they've got to be trying to even get the chances, and you've got to have the chances before you even think about sort of scoring, haven't you? So Yeah, just frustrating really. But it's Wolves coming up this Saturday is probably a good game for them. Dons get up for those sorts of games with a massive crowd there. It's the sort of game which Dons you'd expect to be up for really.
Yeah, it's like we're going to have the records attendance at Stadium MK for a league game. More than 8,000 fans coming down from Wolves. They're going to win the league.
Yeah, you'd expect so.
So
I mean, look at the momentum they got from beating Sheffield United. I mean, what a win that was!
Absolutely.
To break their run. So.
I just worry though that I think Wolves are the sort of side, they're such a good side at this level that Dons could play well and still not get a result.
Yeah, it's good.
So that's why the Gillingham game was so important. A mid-table team at home.
Yeah. Who
weren't going to go up, they're not going to go down. That's the sort of team you want to be playing. The team sort of winding down for the summer, if you like. That was a chance. Having said that, Peterborough in the JPT final this Saturday, if they can pull off a win, which they did do at Molineux, if they can do that again, we're level on points and everyone's happy again. And,
yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a massive game. They're all massive games, obviously now, but. Yeah, it's a huge game, and if we can get a win, I mean, when you're level on points, there's definitely no way you can say, it's not going to happen. So, yeah, it's massive, and but there's a bit of pressure on Dons, I think, and I don't think Dons like playing with pressure. I think as soon as there's a bit of pressure that starts going on.
Well, it's all the games where we've ruled them out beforehand.
Yeah.
But they've won the game, isn't it? And then Gillingham is like, we need to win this. We've got something to lose here.
And I think there was an expectation that they would win as well. You should never expect to win at any level, obviously, but you expect them to win that one. They've come back from behind, and when they've pulled off some brilliant results like they did against Swindon and like they did at Stevenage, and so yeah, it's like I said. I mean, all right, we might be trying to push for the playoffs, but what happens if we do get in the playoffs? The three teams above Dons, if they were to reach the playoffs, so much better, I think. So, I don't mean to sound doom and gloom here, but and you've got to be in the playoffs to.
Yeah, well,
you've got to be in them to, then anything can happen, I guess. But there's a hell of a lot of work to do still.
But these podcasts are following a pattern. At the moment, it's doom and gloom, positivity, doom and gloom.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who knows what we'll be talking about next week?
Absolutely.
There's a real shame, really, that at the high of Stevenage, we only got to experience that for 3 days. We should mention that, really, to be 2-0 down, 10 minutes to go, season over, looking like it's potentially, and then to turn that around in 10 crazy minutes, that's a real I was there moment for the Dons fans. And got a few, that's 2 late goals, isn't it? George Baldock at Swindon, Dean Lewington at the Lamex, that's 4 extra points. So that a great afternoon. They just couldn't back it up.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right there. That Stevenage win was phenomenal. They were poor for 80 minutes, Dons. Let's be honest. They were rubbish for. Well, Dele Alli hit the post just after half time. First half was poor. Then Dele Alli hit the post. Then there was a lengthy sort of injury break, and that knocked, I think, the flow a little bit. So the win just came out of nowhere, really. And it was like. You just didn't expect it, again, as I was saying before, when you least expect it, Dons come and surprise you. And first goal was one of those sort of bundle it in. It didn't matter how it went in, as long as it went in, and then you could see Stevenage were getting edgy. Ben Rees hit an absolute worldie for the equaliser.
Fantastic strike.
Fantastic
strike.
Unbelievable. And then Lewington had the beating of his man. It was Lewington's header from the corner, which led to Spence's goal first.
The opener, yeah.
For the opener, sorry, yeah. And then, it's a lovely header at the end there. And, we're saying about how Dons hadn't scored from corners, and then they scored twice in a game from a corner. So, but yeah, the character they showed there was absolutely unbelievable. And, it was a brilliant, brilliant game to be at. And I think it's certainly, there's a top 3 of highlights for me for this season. The Wolves win at Molineux is number 1. And then I think probably that Stevenage game number 2, and then Baldock's goal against Swindon would be number 3. So, that's one of the best moments in the season. And, shame, as you mentioned before, shame it didn't last longer, that sort of feeling. But,
you thought like the kind of high they'd be on after.
That's right.
There's nothing better than a comeback victory, and that is the mother of all comeback victories. There's 3 goals in that short period of time. You thought maybe the confidence that would instill in the camp would push them on to a Tuesday night, but they've frozen the headlights, unfortunately.
I think that's not a bad metaphor to use, actually. They just can't, just lacking creativity as well, on the Tuesday home game. They're defending well, there's nothing, I don't think there's anything wrong necessarily with the defence. All right, their goal maybe came a little bit too easily. Gillingham's, I think Weston's got past a couple of men pretty easily. David Martin's made a fantastic save, easy back heel, and then they've scored his lads unmarked there. So, but it's just frustrating that they just can't seem to put the ball in the back of the net. And a striker is, I know Carl's looking desperately for a striker, but it's so urgently needed. If Patrick Bamford had been here, and I know it's all late to talk about him, I think it's a very different position that Dons find themselves in. I really do.
Yeah, and the thing is now with the table, that 7th place isn't secure now. If they lose to Wolves on Saturday, they've got Swindon, Walsall creeping up behind. We could find ourselves back in 8th, 9th, and
Sheffield United is
a big game. That's what the Gillingham game's kind of done. If we'd gone into this game after beating Gillingham, then Peterborough lost to Preston, obviously, so we'd be level on points. Peterborough not playing. It's almost like you can kind of go to the Wolves game and, if you get a point, you're in the playoffs. If you lose, you're still on the same number of points. And now it's kind of like you've got to play the best team in the league and you need something from it. You desperately need something from it. So it's a real shame. But like I say, we've been here before.
We have. Let's not forget as well that there is still a month of the season to go. There's 6 games, which is 30 points, something like that, after the Wolves game. Is it something? I think this is pretty sure there's 6 or 7 games after the Wolves game. So still points to be played for. And as long as they're in touching distance, there's every chance. Peterborough have those games now, but they've got to win them. And if they win, then fair enough. But Jordan Spence made a good point on Tuesday night that it's irrelevant really what other teams do. If you don't do it yourself, you're not gonna stand a chance. And it does put the pressure on, but then that pressure was always going to be there anyway. Because you need to go on that run when you're the chasing team. Again, I'm making Jordan Spencer's point there, but it's a very good point. When you're the chasing team, you have to go on that good run of form. You can't afford slip-ups because you're the team that's got to win to close. If the team above you lose, you need to win to close the gap down. If the team above you wins, you need to win to keep up with them. So, the wins are vital now, and but it's set up to be a great game, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of that crowd on Saturday because that is going to be a good atmosphere, and I would imagine it'd be similar to commentary, and if Wolves score, it's going to be just as big a roar as if Don scores.
Yeah, so, absolutely.
But it's going to be great to see a good chunk of fans in that top tier. I think it's going to be a real special occasion, and hopefully plenty of people in Milton Keynes can come out and attend that game. Yeah, definitely.
A bit of team news, we understand Isaiah McLeod, Stephen Gleeson won't be available for the match. Bit of a blow with Gleeson. McLeod hasn't really shown much in recent games.
I think McLeod's been on a bit. I think there's no other striker, so he's been able to play there. But it'd be interesting to see how James Luffridge does there. Yeah. Hopefully he'll bag a goal or two, and I think that'll be good. And Smith's done okay, I think, in the Gleeson role of late. So I don't think losing Gleeson is as much of a blow as it maybe would have been a month or two ago, because I think Alan Smith's he's done all right in that role. Dele Alli's playing well in that centre mid, so those two are doing pretty well at the moment. So maybe that relation's just a continuation of the last couple of games, and it's going to be a different sort of lineup. There's this new winger, of course, as well. I don't know what sort of part he's going to be playing.
Let's see the loan window. Just this evening, so to see if there's any more ins and outs. There has been an in yesterday, Matt Kennedy, a winger on loan from Everton.
We'll have to see how he does. I mean, Reinhold wasn't great on Tuesday night as well.
Another player that's come in, and Carl said, a winger full of pace, creativity. Another young lad, but he has been on loan at Tranmere. So he's played League One this season. Yeah. Played against Dons actually for Tranmere. And he's a Scottish Youth International all the way up to under 21 level, I think, and played for Kilmarnock up north of the border as well. So it's not like your Loveridge or Chris Long, who's not had a senior appearance. He has played some football, so should be a bit more experienced.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, it's another one. We just have to see how it goes. There've been so many loan signings coming in.
Yeah.
Going in the other direction, Tom Flanagan's fresh off signing a new contract with the club. He's been loaned to Stevenage to help with their relegation battle. And
I think the League One experience is going to help him as well. He's played alright. He's played at League Two last season. He's had a couple of shaky games in League One this season, and if he can get a month behind him, I don't think he played actually last night though for Stevenage. They lost to Coventry, didn't they, last night, and I don't think he was in the squad. So whether that was a sort of the paperwork's not come through on time sort of thing, I don't know. But if he can get some League One starts, all right, he might be getting another relegation this season.
Yeah.
But you know, if he can start at this level, I think that's going to give him that confidence. I think his confidence will have been shot after what's happened to him this season.
Yeah.
The Gillingham game in mind, where you know two penalties, he was off after 10 minutes of the game. So if he can just get a few solid games in there, I think that'll do him good.
Yeah.
If he can't do that, then
I mean, he had so much promise and great displays at the back. I remember a couple of superb goals a season 2 ago at Notts County and Colchester, and they gave him number 4 as well. Which that shows the faith they had having him. I think you're spot on. I think that Gillingham game with the conceding the penalties, getting the red cards.
Yeah.
It's like he's psychologically never really recovered from that, and he hasn't been given the opportunity to recover either. I
think it started when Sean Williams first left as well. He started against Carlisle, and that was a 3-0 loss at Brunton Park. So that would have done him too much good. Not that I don't think anybody goes necessarily his fault, if memory serves me correctly, but you know.
It should be a good move for both parties.
I think so. Yeah.
Sammy Odelusi as well, on loan. His loan now extended to the end of the season. I think that was always going to happen, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was okay on Tuesday night. He started off pretty well. He had the beating of his man, but you know, he got a few dangerous crosses in, and Carl couldn't really get on the end of them. So, I'd like to see a bit more from him. He started the last 4 or 5 games now, so I don't think he can say he's not fresh or anything. So, I think I'd like to see more from him, and let's see what happens against Wolves. It's a sort of bit of make or break game, really.
If you're off to that game, have a good time. It's going to be a great occasion in front of a record crowd. So
I was going to say, hopefully a record-breaking occasion as well.
It'll be good to see the top tier with a decent number of fans in. I know.
Well, I know the last couple. I mean, Gillingham fans were in there on Tuesday night, and I know some of the in the last home game before that, which I can't remember right now who that was, but. Top tier has been sort of experimented with, but this is going to be the first occasion where it's really going to be needed, I think, and it's going to be a great occasion, I think, on Saturday, purely to see all fans in there.
Okay, come on, you Dons. Hope they can do it, and we'll see you again soon. Thanks a lot.
Cheers. Bye.